unpacking the latest, loudest industry whispers. We're going all the way from messy, everyday relationship drama to some absolutely shocking workplace scandals. Seriously, we're bypassing the polished PR statements today and looking at what actually goes down when the cameras stop rolling. We have a ton of photos to look at today, mapping out the timelines and the key details so we can see exactly how these massive empires are operating behind closed doors.
Here is our roadmap for today. We're hitting 1. Toxic romances and heartbreak. 2. Surprising rings and feuds. 3. Bizarre celebrity behaviors. And 4. Major workplace scandals. You'll definitely want to stick around for that last one.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, Toxic Romances, and what happens when love turns sour.
Okay, you really have to notice the timing of this quote from Jenna Ortega's mother, Natalie. She posted this right as insiders started buzzing that Jenna's partner, musician Elias Ronnenfelt, has been actively controlling her image and isolating her from fans. When you look at the recent photos of these two, there's this jarring, completely stark shift in Jenna's aesthetic. I mean, down to the bleached eyebrows. It perfectly mirrors his ex-girlfriend's style. Word is he is incredibly secretive, actively turns down photo requests from fans on Jenna's behalf, and just acts super uncomfortable whenever she gets any attention. So her mom's quote, it heavily implies this deep feeling of helplessness, just having to watch her adult daughter navigate what a lot of people are calling a highly restrictive, controlling dynamic. It really brings to light the psychological toll these relationships take when they play out under a microscope.
Things take a way darker turn over in Shia LaBeouf's world. As reports keep surfacing, it seems his new partner, Nicole, has a matching toxic history. Now, we already know LaBeouf's own troubling history of domestic abuse allegations is heavily documented, but insiders are literally calling this new pairing a match made in hell. Nicole reportedly has this really dark past with law enforcement herself, including a prior charge for domestic abuse, aggravated assault, and false imprisonment involving a kitchen knife. During past altercations with an ex, she allegedly cracked him over the head with a glass candle and would regularly go through his phone getting physically violent over photos of other women. It raises such a fascinating question, right? Does extreme fame just act as a shield it seems to insulate this volatile behavior, making these explosive pairings possible without any immediate real-world intervention? People are genuinely terrified that pairing two individuals with such physically aggressive histories is inevitably going to end with someone getting seriously hurt.
And then we have this absolute heartbreak. The situation with Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson is a textbook example of blindsided loyalty. On one hand, you've got Megan's fierce, very public loyalty. She held him down through horrible mood swings and a really difficult treatment phase during his basketball season. She truly thought she had found a safe space. But behind closed doors, he was allegedly playing house with their family while maintaining a totally secret relationship for half a year, literally right after they bought a house together. Megan even broke down in tears on stage recently during a Broadway performance after the split. It is just a stark reminder that even the most hardworking, successful stars can be utterly blindsided by the people they trust the most.
Let's shift gears to a slightly different kind of relationship drama. Let's talk diamonds, proposals, and the massive feuds they ignite.
Moving into Section 2, Surprising Rings, Engagements, and Feuds.
So as Miley Cyrus allegedly gears up for a wedding with her partner Max Mirando, all the industry buzz suggests she's entirely cutting her father, Billy Ray, and his girlfriend off the guest list. Following the incredibly messy 2022 divorce of her parents, Miley is drawing a very firm line in the sand. Now, she reportedly doesn't have any personal animosity toward Billy Ray's new girlfriend, Elizabeth Hurley, but she simply does not consider them family anymore. It highlights this broader, kind of sad industry phenomenon where highly publicized celebrity divorces operate exactly like corporate splits. They essentially force the kids to pick sides through public PR campaigns.
The contrast on this next one is just wild. While Channing Tatum is over here posting cryptic, decade-old poetry about his brain and heart divorcing, Zoe Kravitz is out in Rome and New York, casually flashing a massive diamond ring alongside pop superstar Harry Styles. Now, observers are totally split on what the photos actually mean. Some say she is masterfully trolling the paparazzi and his obsessive fanbase using a ring from a jewelry line she endorses. But others? They think Harry Styles literally proposed just 8 months into their relationship. Either way, she is completely controlling the narrative and letting the visuals do the talking, while her ex is just left writing sad poetry.
But wait, there's major fallout. This new romance allegedly has Taylor Swift furiously cutting ties with Zoe. She's feeling deeply betrayed that her longtime friend would get engaged to her highly public ex-boyfriend, Harry Styles. Zoe and Taylor were incredibly close. Zoe even lived at Taylor's mansion for a few weeks to escape the California wildfires.
But insiders claim there is a girl code that does not expire even if the relationship with Harry was over a decade ago. It is a fascinating look at how these elite social circles actually operate. Loyalty tests can pop up years after the fact, proving that girl code in Hollywood is basically an unwritten corporate contract. You cross those invisible lines and you lose a very powerful friend.
All right, jumping into Section 3, bizarre behaviors and changing faces.
But before we hit the really heavy industry scandals, we have to talk about this red carpet moment. Audiences were left completely bewildered at a recent event, doing a massive double take trying to recognize Maroon 5 frontman Adam Levine standing right next to his wife, Behati Prinsloo. The photos instantly went viral, bringing a whole new level of curiosity to the lengths public figures will go to in order to maintain their image.
Now, PR teams might try to spin this and pass it off as just a fresh shave. But come on, let's be real. The waxy texture and drastically altered features tell a totally different story. His eyes appear smaller, the skin is unnaturally tight, and the cheek volume is completely different. Fans are arguing it's the undeniable result of male plastic surgery gone wrong. It's a really stark reminder of the immense pressure to maintain a certain image in the spotlight and how quickly those attempts can backfire, morphing a totally recognizable face into a complete mystery.
Okay, it's time to pivot to our fourth and final section: major workplace scandals and the true dark side of the industry.
This is where things get incredibly serious. Reality star Jocelyn Hernandez has leveled some explosive claims against the Zeus network and its creator, Lemuel Plummer. She's alleging they are illegally withholding her pay and literally threatening her family to stop her from launching a competing app. Hernandez has been a massive draw for the network with her cabaret show. She claims that after giving them 7 years of her life, her payments, which she says are legally in perpetuity, were abruptly halted just because she started developing her own streaming platform. The network is claiming it's a simple breach of contract, but Hernandez is describing a man actively trying to ruin her livelihood while she is pregnant. It is absolutely crucial to understand why this happens. Traditional television has strict union protections and established labor laws, but custom streaming apps and the whole creator economy, they often operate like the Wild West, leaving talent incredibly vulnerable without any standard industry safeguards.
And it goes so much deeper than contract disputes. Insiders are describing the Zeus network environment as deeply toxic, pointing to a disturbing pattern of unsafe conditions and actual tragedy among its cast members that goes way beyond standard reality TV drama. We are talking about allegations of deceased individuals found in or near network properties and audition sites. Former participants are speaking out, calling the entire production process a literal humiliation ritual designed to tear people down for profit. They allege the network uses its billion-dollar power to completely silence anyone who tries to speak up about the horrific conditions happening off-camera.
Meanwhile, over in the YouTube creator space, reports indicate massive creator Mr. Beast is rapidly settling lawsuits. Why? To actively prevent his company's internal documents and Slack messages from becoming public record. When a lawsuit goes to court, the discovery phase makes internal communications totally public. So, rather than let the world see what his employees were really saying in their WhatsApp and Slack channels, the company is allegedly opting to just pay out millions in settlements. Now, this is a classic crisis management tactic, sure, but it hits so differently here. In the creator economy, the brand is the person. If a traditional corporation's Slack leaks, it's just a bad PR week. But if a massive YouTuber's internal messages leak, it shatters the entire parasocial trust they've spent years building with millions of children and parents.
When you actually look at the specific claims from former employees, a horrifying timeline emerges. It paints a picture of an environment that severely punished workers. Imagine this. We have reports of an employee forced to take conference calls while actually in the delivery room giving birth. We're seeing widespread allegations of mandated 15-hour daily shifts with absolute zero work-life balance. And incredibly, reports state an employee was expected to stand in a production van for 10 hours a day just 3 weeks postpartum. Plus, on the set of their Amazon show Beast Games, a worker was reportedly hit by a collapsing tower and hospitalized for over a week. It truly reveals the dark underbelly of digital fame, showing how the relentless pursuit of viral content allegedly created an incredibly unsafe reality for the crew behind the camera.
And you might be wondering, how does this even happen? Well, the core of the issue lies in a completely broken accountability system. The allegations regarding the official company handbook are staggering. It allegedly instructed employees that no does not mean no and encouraged a culture of letting boys be childish. When female employees tried to complain about being excluded from meetings or facing hostile environments, they were reportedly met with the excuse that the boss just gets awkward around beautiful women. And the absolute kicker? When they tried to officially report this toxicity, the head of HR they had to speak to was the star's own mother. It is the very definition of a closed-loop system designed to protect the talent at the absolute expense of the staff. So with these empires generating billions of dollars and millions of views, we really have to ask ourselves, at what point do we stop giving these creators a free pass for the damage they leave behind the scenes? As consumers, we're the ones funding these empires with our clicks and our attention. Whether it's the controlling nature of a Hollywood romance or the systemic abuse hidden behind a smiling, highly produced YouTube thumbnail, the evidence suggests a severe lack of accountability across the board. If the content entertains us, are we honestly willing to ignore the human cost required to produce it? Think about that the next time you hit play.